So, yeah, moving on from the headlines, I want to spend a little bit of time talking about this guy. So, pictured in our on our screen there is Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who this week canceled $500 million in funding for mRNA vaccines. This will impact 22 projects being led by major pharmaceutical companies, including Pfizer and Moderna, for vaccines against bird flu and other viruses. This story from the BBC. RFK Jr., a noted vaccine skeptic, announced he was pulling the funding over claims that, quote, mRNA technology poses more risks than benefits for these respiratory viruses.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, thank you. I'll be here all week. So this is a huge, huge deal. It is not just one of these Doge cuts that trims a very modest amount. I mean, to us, $500 million sounds like a huge sum of money. To the government, that's nothing. Like these mRNA vaccines are what gave us the COVID shot in record time. It saved so many people's lives. Brianna, what the hell?
Yeah, what the hell indeed. I don't know. The more he isn't the longer he's in office, the more I'm like, maybe he really does have a brain worm. I don't know. Because mRNA vaccines, I mean, they even during COVID, people were saying that these are new and ooh, new is scary and dangerous, which isn't true because they were researching this in 2010s. I had friends doing their doctoral work on mRNA back in 2010. Like these are not as new as they would like you to believe, and they are very safe, and they are much faster to develop new ones, like for COVID. So this is not going to be good. I have a feeling we're going to see a huge uptick in COVID, the flu virus, and other anything that travels with respiratory. It's just going to get bad, and I would expect this winter to be much worse than previous winters. And I would think that the hospitals are going to get started to get overwhelmed, especially if some of those Medicaid cuts take effect before that time. I think that we're heading for disaster with this. And it's just really upsetting because as I am a speech language pathologist by trade, and I will say till the day I die, because it's true that vaccinations do not cause autism. We know that over 80% of autism cases are caused by genetics. The 20% that we aren't sure about, we probably just haven't found the gene related to it yet. Because if there's another cause that is contributing to your symptoms, that is not autism, that is something else. So there may be some misdiagnoses in there, but generally speaking, vaccines are safe, they are effective, and they save lives. This is going to lead to people losing their lives, and that is not okay.
And this whole vaccine cause autism thing has been debunked several times over at this point. I want to say this came from a British doctor. I want to say his name was Andrew Wakefield, published this study, God, 25 years ago, maybe, that showed a link between autism and vaccines. And it has been proven since then that he basically faked the data. The whole thing is made up. And yet that myth persists with folks like RFK and entirely too many other people. This mRNA vaccine, these things are a miracle of modern science, and it basically the technology sort of allows you to like plug and play, and a new virus like COVID emerges. You can drop in the genetic material from that virus, and then the RNA vaccine that then knows how to like I don't words, man.
Yeah.
Get myself tied in knots just trying to explain it. But so when you see something like the bird flu, which we know is circulating, amongst livestock all over the country and wild birds, it's just a matter of time before this thing maybe crosses species and winds up infecting humans and becomes a pandemic even more serious than COVID was. And we will leave ourselves completely vulnerable and unable to respond in the time that we did then going forward. It's very, very scary.
Absolutely. Yeah,
But I
and
think there's
that's
another. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was like, I think that's the concern. But yeah, basically with the mRNA vaccinations, basically the difference is I just wanted to clear it up real quick. The traditional vaccines are a dead part or a weakened part of the virus, and then they introduce that into your body, makes the antibodies. Well, with mRNA, the mRNA is teaching your body to make the antibodies without introducing the virus into your system. So that's
Mm.
why it's so great. And you can plug and play so many different viruses and diseases to make fast production of a new vaccine. They are truly miracles, and we need to be investing in this, not divesting it.
If
I
there is
think the
one
political
Go ahead,
question. Oh,
Ross, go ahead.
but the government question, the political question is, I don't know. I mean, I got a political economy degree over 30 years ago. Maybe I would get my money back because I thought the Congress decided what the budget was, and I thought the Congress decided where we spent money. An unelected quack should not be the guy who just arbitrarily says, we're not spending that money. The Congress gave you that money and told you to spend it. Obviously, those things are in the courts now, but it's ridiculous that we even start from this point that he would ever have the authority to just say, I'm not spending that money. So I'll trust the experts here about the value of the vaccine. But I mean, you shouldn't be able to just arbitrarily shut down the government because you're a crazy
Yeah, and you know what? So, speaking of crazy persons and vaccines, so along these lines, there was a story this Friday, just a couple days ago, down in Atlanta, outside of the CDC, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. So, this story from 11 Live out of Atlanta. A DeKalb County police officer died confronting a gunman near the Emory Atlanta campus, Emory University. It's right there next to the CDC. So, police on this scene were still hearing gunfire when they arrived from a nearby CVS at the intersection across from the CDC. Police found the shooter on the second floor of said CVS, and they found him injured by gunfire. They don't know if it was police firing or if it was self-inflicted. But so this shooter, 30 years old, had tried to get into the CDC headquarters previously, but was stopped by guards before driving across the street to the pharmacy. He was armed with 5 guns, including at least one long gun, uh, according to officials speaking on the condition of anonymity. This guy blamed the COVID-19 vaccine for making him depressed and suicidal, according to law enforcement. Now, here's a quote from Fired But Fighting, a group of laid off employees opposing changes to the CDC. Quote, Kennedy is directly responsible for the villainization of CDC's workforce through his continuous lies about science and vaccine safety, which have fueled a climate of hostility and mistrust. End quote. Who haven't I been to in a while? Scott, is it your turn?
It is
Scott.
my turn. It is my turn. Yep.
Well,
So
all right. Are they correct? Is this shooting on Kennedy?
absolutely. Kennedy has made a lifetime out of going after pharmaceutical companies and claiming vaccines are responsible for all kinds of things that they actually aren't. Bear in mind that we've been administering vaccines now since I believe the 1700s when we first made a smallpox vaccine out of cowpox, right?
George
Like,
Washington inoculated his troops. Yes.
so it's not like this is new, right? And I get that COVID was horrible. I get it. I was there. I ran a COVID tracker during COVID, right? So the guy, I was there. However, the simple truth of the world of it is it was a pandemic. It happened. Big deal. Get the hell over it. But Kennedy, with his relentless demonization of vaccines and science, Yeah, he's out there providing a reason for every nut job to shoot. This is entirely on RFK. And I'm going to make my final statement about RFK, which is the same one I always use, which is that his father and his uncle would be appalled, and he should be ashamed. The man needs to step down. He should never have been in that role.
I saw a great headline from The Onion this week. It said, Kennedy curse sure taking its sweet time with RFK Jr. And yeah, man, it is a weird world we live in where The Onion may be our most accurate news source. So